You most certainly must have heard that HCMC announced that Philip Morris filed a petition with the Patent Trial and Appeal Board, PTAB, of the US Patent Office, seeking to institute inter partes review, IPR, proceedings to invalidate HCMC's patent claims. If Philip Morris's IPR petition is accepted by the PTAB, the company will have 3 months to optionally file a preliminary response. Within 3 months of the company's preliminary response, or 6 months from acceptance of Philip Morris's IPR petition, the PTAB will decide whether to institute or deny the IPR proceedings. If the PTAB institutes IPR proceedings, then within 1 year of institution, the PTAB will issue a final written decision as to the validity of some or all of the claims in the patent. So what is really this IPR about, this inter partes review? So according to some of the search result we have here, so inter partes review is a trial proceedings before the US Patent and Trademark Office, intended to be cost-effective, alternative to litigation for challenging the patentability of one or more claims of a patent on certain prior art basis. Okay, so in any case, though, we all know that there is a trial going on here. So it says it's a trial proceeding before the US Patent Office. So maybe they may have been asked, to go ahead and file this, or maybe Philip Morris saw that this is a window for them to do that. So it's usually in line with trials. There's already a trial going on, so it falls in place for Philip Morris to file this petition. So, and then the further results here says inter partes review is a procedure for challenging the validity of a US patent before the United States Patent Office. So that is also interesting. It's even though this is not a conclusion, but it's challenging. On a broad view, on a broad basis, that maybe HCMC doesn't have any claim in this patent it is pretending to have. So. Moving on, we can see that it says here, who are the companies that support the inter partes process? You can see large companies: Apple, Google, Intel, and Amazon. And indeed, Philip Morris is also a large company. So, but at the same time, it's a large company, but it's not a tech company. You can see what's going on there. The companies mentioned there are Apple, Google, Intel, and Amazon. All of these are high-tech companies, especially Apple. To some to a less extent, Amazon. Amazon, yes, is a tech company because the technology uses to support all of the Amazon process and all that stuff, and indeed the AWS and all that stuff. But I'm deviating a bit. But the point I'm trying to make is that indeed these 4 companies are large companies, but at the same time, they're also tech companies. Philip Morris is not exactly that sort of tech company as such. They're highly technical, because for them to actually make those cigarettes and all that stuff, they would have established themselves technically and all that stuff. So it's not the stuff of kids to be that great. So in any case, it can easily be concluded that Philip Morris is not exactly a tech company. So we're deviating here, sorry. So we're going on, we can see that it says here when to file inter partes review in patent cases. Inter partes reviews is subject to an additional limitation relating to co-pending litigation involving the patent being reviewed. So obviously we can see that there will be some, based on what we're just reading now, some limitation to this review because of the pending litigation going on. Yes, they have a case with a district court in North Georgia, USA. So both post-grant review and inter-party review need to be filed before the third party seeks a declaratory judgment challenging the validity of a claim in the patent. So what's more, so it's interesting, because sometimes the sort of the companies that are behind this inter-party review, or whenever they do that, is usually a case when they are being trolled. When they're being trolled. See what's written here. We didn't finish the case of the big companies. It says these companies support them. The large companies support them. Obviously, we mentioned them. It says here. The system, and they support the system and have used this inter-party review process to challenge uncertain patents held by those who they perceive to be patent trolls and tend to fend off challenges to their own patents from other firms. So indeed, yes, to some extent you might be tempted to conclude that maybe HCMC Philip Morris may deem HCMC a patent troll, or just if it doesn't deem it a patent troll, it's just trying to fend it off. Some have gone on to conclude that it's an indication that Philip Morris might be might use this as the grounds for a negotiation to settle the matter in a settlement and all that stuff. So, but all in all, I'm not an expert in this, and it's good I pointed all of these things out. You can see that there's so many elements to this. It's either HCMC is deemed a troll, it's either Philip Morris is going to take this as an advantage, or rather take this as an opportunity to seek for a settlement in this patent battle they have. So indeed, it could be anything at all. So the reason why I'm trying to point out all of these things is that there's been a lot of skepticism towards HCMC and all that stuff. So sometimes you might be wondering why would you wouldn't really associate patents with a retailer like HCMC. So all of these to some extent will make you feel a little bit suspicious, especially the fact that Philip Morris has now gone ahead to institute this IPR and all that stuff. So well, let's see how things go. Let's see how things go. There's not a conclusion that HCMC is a troll or anything like that. So we'll see how things go. So moving on, we can see the stock has retraced all the way down to $0.0012, not very far away from its 10-day moving average. And it says down here that it appears to be correcting within a longer term bullish trend, although its MACD is presently below the signal line. Shares remain 27.6% above an upward sloping 200-day moving average, but it's also lagging the S&P 500. Momentum is strongly bearish. The 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is falling as investors sell shares and drive the price lower. The unbalanced vol indicator is bearish. The slope of the indicator is negative and suggests that there is a lack of buying interest at the moment. So that's what's going on with HCMC. Yes, and this news came out as at the 16th of June 2021. So let's fingers crossed. We'll see how things pan out. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching this video.